Welcome to Gridiron Garage Podcast. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday morning, at noon, afternoon, at midnight, whenever you're listening to this. Thanks for joining us. I'm your co-host, Jake Lawhorn at JLaw. What's going on? Alongside of me is your host, Zach Curtis.
What's up? Also known as podcast assistant.
Assistant Zach.
Assistant Zach, because he does all the dirty work.
Yep.
On the end over here, we got at Big Daddy Griff.
What's up?
Weinman.
Well, tell me, I have a question.
Got a last name in there?
Griff. So you got about like a month of weight loss challenge. If you keep losing weight,
left or
Yeah,
3 weeks left.
3 weeks left.
Yeah, we're getting close.
he's gonna have to change his handle to like Small Daddy Griff.
Oh, Skinny Daddy Griff.
So,
Dude, that
what
would
did
be,
I-
be iconic.
what did I
you actually
message?
lost like 60 pounds and you're
Someone-
just like skinny Daddy Griff.
Someone texted me about the weight loss challenge. It was like in a group text and stuff like that. And I made the joke about like, man, I'm about to change my my Instagram handle or whatever. And I can't remember what I made it. Slim Daddy Griff.
Slim Daddy Griff.
So Big Daddy Griff to Slim Daddy Griff.
I would love it. I think
We'll
we
see.
need a couple more pounds, but that would be absolutely hilarious.
Dude,
I would for sure call you Slim Daddy Griff.
Dude,
yeah.
I wouldn't say so many people, but some people were like, still fat though.
Isn't there
that fucking cracked me up.
there's a UFC fighter named the Slim Reaper, isn't there?
That's Kevin Durant's nickname. They call him the Slim Reaper.
Oh, is it Kevin Durant? It's a Slim Reaper. That sounds
He
pretty
doesn't
cool.
like it.
No?
Yeah, he never liked that. That's such a cool
Why?
nickname. He said, I don't like
It's a super
it.
cool nickname.
He just goes by KD Trey 5 now. But
It was probably like a burner account that he started. And
he's got enough burners. He stopped using burners though. He just tweets shit at
that's what
people
he
from his
says.
regular
Yeah,
account.
that's what anybody would say. You get
Well,
caught.
I mean, so I kind of agree
I
with
haven't
him.
used any more burners.
Well, so I think for a while we still had him, but I kind of agree with him now because he literally just roasts people all the time on his regular. Like he just responds on his regular, just responds to everybody and like super petty stuff. Like he gets so mad.
Anyways, I got a story for you guys. So I think it was Saturday morning. I took my dog into the vet to get his shots because they were overdue. And they were overdue because I didn't want to take him in because I know he acts like a jackass when he goes into the vet. He absolutely hates the vet. So I end up walking him in. He steps 1 foot into this vet. And I don't know if it's a smell. He's never been to this specific one. But I guess he just smells it. And he just locks the brakes up, dude. Just full leg extension. He's like, I'm not moving another inch. And for those who don't know, my dog's like 100 pounds and pretty damn strong. So when they don't want to do shit, it's hard to make them do shit.
Yeah.
So they stop and the veterinarian comes to get him and they put like the choke collar on and she's just straight dragging him by the neck. I'm like, all right, he's yours now. So COVID protocol, go back to my car and they're in there with my dog and they call me like 30 seconds later and they're like, we're going to need some help. And I walk in the front door and Jock is literally like on his back 2 legs, squirming like a fish out of water. Just, like, oh my God, how freaking embarrassing is this? And I walk over there and I grab him. He's fighting me. He's like, I want out of this place so bad right now. And I end up putting a muzzle on him. He's never had a muzzle on him in his life. And as soon as I got that muzzle on him, he absolutely froze up. Like, what the heck is this? And he was making like the weirdest, like, it wasn't a growl. It was like a panting, nervous
chuff.
thing.
He was chuffing.
like, dude, you're gonna be fine. So we're in like the I don't know, the area where you sit, the waiting room with and she's like, I'll just do it here. I was like, all right. So she went out and got the shot, stuck it in him like 1, 2, 3, and then I walked him on out of there. And we actually got him on the scale. He weighs 98 pounds.
Nice.
So he's not quite 100. But we ended up getting him out of there, and I was
Get your
like,
weight up.
I was like, God, dude, that was horrible. It was a horrible experience.
Dude, I went to the vet with my dog and I have a German Shepherd, and the vet really pissed me off. Like immediately, he put a muzzle on my little dude, and I was like, "Why? Just because he's a German Shepherd?"
They didn't put
Like,
one on mine until like they couldn't control
Yeah.
him. They wanted me to do it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that just made me mad. I was like, "You were being very judgmental."
Speaking of that, I had an old dog back in the day named Buddy, and you know Buddy. He was a thick old boy.
Yeah, I remember, buddy.
He was a thick old boy.
Very thick.
And we adopted him, and he was thick when we got him. He was a fat dog, basically. he was a
fat.
sweet old boy, but we got him. We took him to the vet, and it didn't matter how many times we told this vet that we weren't the ones that got him fat. They would bitch us out. They'd be like, you need to get him on a diet. You need to do this and that. How'd you let him get this fat? And we're like, we're adopted him. Like, quit
saved his
bitching
life.
at us. And they'd yell at us every time. And it pissed me off to no end. The fact that they yelled at me for
Like, what would they say when you said we adopted him? He was like this when we got him. We've had him for 3
They would just
months.
continue to talk about his diet. I was like, his diet is fine. It's like, this is how he is. I don't know. Deal with it.
He's chunky.
He's a freaking dog.
He's barrel chested. He's barrel chested. So you gotta say, not fat, I'm barrel chested.
But anyways, we're gonna move on to a segment. We didn't get into a sports segment, and it's kind of sports related. It's kind of not, but we'll go ahead and cover it because I think a lot of people can end up enjoying this. And it is, are they athletes? And I saw this going around. I think Ocho Cinco might have a YouTube channel. I'm not sure. He was a host on it.
They have like
sure.
they have like a podcast.
It's like 3 dudes.
Yeah,
or 2
so
dudes.
it's like
they
it's
all
Chad,
look like athletes.
Yeah, it's Chad Ochocinco, Brandon Marshall. I can't remember who the other guy is. There's like 3 or 4 of them, but it's their own podcast.
And they were debating on whether NASCAR drivers were athletes. So I wanted to hop on and see what you guys think. Is a NASCAR driver an athlete?
Absolutely.
Absolutely an athlete?
Yes.
Or just a skilled profession?
No, they're an absolute athlete.
I mean, there's some of them that aren't in great shape, right?
So
There's some hockey players, there's some MLB players, there's
So,
350
I want
pound
to
linemen.
throw out Bartolo Colon, right?
Bartolo Colon.
Yeah. But, I
pitchers,
mean, you know
pitchers
me.
aren't athletes. We've
You
said
know,
that
you know
forever.
me and Zach. We've had some epic arguments, epic battles. We hardly ever agree on anything. I win most of the arguments, but I actually agree with them. Without a doubt, athletes.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, I actually also agree with them without a doubt. But I found some other sports I'd be interested to see if any of these people aren't athletes. Because I do agree that NASCAR drivers are athletes.
Because imagine what they have to go through, like training for all that G-force.
You try and hold your pee for 5 hours while you're in like a sauna, essentially, you're driving
What
for
I would
200 miles an hour.
compare them more to is an endurance athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in that car for 4+ hours fighting
And you got to stay
G-forces.
laser focused,
I think
too.
it's 150 degrees inside of the cars. And yeah, absolutely.
You stay laser focused. Like, it's not
literally
like...
not. You can't get distracted for a
Right.
split second.
Think
You're on
about
it.
think about endurance like races. Like, I'm not trying to take anything away from marathon runners or people that run like the whatever Ks in there.
You
but
get your
like,
little runner's high and you'll just fucking diddly around.
Obviously, I don't know that because I've never been able to do that. But what I'm saying is, right, like if you're running on the track in the Olympics, right, they're running in circles, they get in a groove, right? This is what I'm doing every time. And not to say that NASCAR isn't like that. You probably get in a groove when it's wider open, right? But especially on restarts and all those cars around, like you're going 150 to 200 miles an hour, you can crash and flip your car, right? You got to stay like laser focused when you're driving those. So that's insane.
Dude, so I was laughing about that sidebar. I was texting Jake earlier when you were just talking about marathon people there. And I was like, the first person to ask me when I do this Ironman, like, oh, what made you decide to do it? I'd be like, oh, literally woke up one day, didn't have any gear, found something on Google and bought a bike from Walmart. And here we are.
But is a truck driver, are they athletes?
Like a
Professional semi-truck driver. Because they kind of do the same thing NASCAR drivers.
No, get the fuck out of here. No.
Are they athletes?
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
I think there's a lot
I mean,
more.
they both drive
think
cars
there's a
for a
lot-
living.
But they're
I
not
get the point you're trying to make.
athletes.
I get the point.
Big corporations.
I get the point you're trying to make, but I'm going to say the difference is one, they're not going that fast. Like it's not like as skilled at driving. Not saying it isn't skilled driving. There's definitely some skilled truck drivers that are probably drive circles around me, right?
I mean, they have to stay focused for a long time. I think
But
they're allowed 10 hours in a day.
I think
a long
that
time to stay
the
focused.
driving to drive a NASCAR or any type of race car, right, is a lot more skill value. They need more skill than to drive a semi truck long distance. That's just my opinion. And I also think the degree factor. I seriously
I've driven
think
a NASCAR.
I seriously
It's not
think
very hard.
I seriously think. Yeah, did you drive at 200 miles an hour?
I drove it like 100 miles.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
50 other people
So-
Trying to bump into you.
There was other people on the track.
So
but I was
I-
not going.
That's sketchy.
Yeah, but I was not going very fast.
I think that the heat factor, the 150 degrees inside, I think we're kind of
we drove home city
underwhelming
trucks
that.
and they did not have AC in there.
And they were
It
not
was-
150.
It was probably close to 100 on some days.
Yeah, I don't
And
think
you
it was
guys got
150.
paid maybe like $1,000 every 2 weeks. These people get paid millions of dollars every race.
I do not think they're athletes. I think inherently an
The
athlete
truck
too.
driver's not an athlete.
Well, I wanna
But
say-
a NASCAR driver's.
I want to think inherently too. I usually don't agree with Zach on like some of the little semantics like that, but I think when you're trying to say if you're an athlete, a professional athlete, they got to be professional and they're getting like sponsorships. They're on TV commercials. I think that goes along with the athlete thing as well.
Okay, you remember that.
Okay, we'll see.
I agree with you that NASCAR drivers are athletes.
Do you agree
I'm
with
just playing
truck drivers?
devil's. No, I agree that truck drivers are not. I was playing devil's advocate. Are golfers? Are they athletes?
Yes.
Yes.
Professional golfers?
Brooke Koepka.
Brooks Koepka.
Koepka. There we go. Is literally trying to play left-handed to beat Barstool's president. Like that's an
Okay.
athlete.
I don't know if that makes him more of an athlete, but
Yeah,
I agree they're
I don't
athletes
know.
regardless. I think regardless they're
You
athletes.
go play right-handed and tell me how well it works out. You think you're a scratch golfer?
I don't think I could beat him playing my normal handed and him playing left-handed.
Oh, I thought you just said you could be
No.
playing normally. I was like, what?
Golfers athletes for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. Athletes.
I mean, they're kind of just skilled people, but
I think you got to be like playing a sport to be an athlete almost. Is that kind of what I'm thinking?
an archery.
Archery.
archer.
Yeah, it's a sport.
Are they
Athletic.
athletes?
I think so.
They're athletes.
It's
You're
in the
an
Olympics.
athlete?
It's in the
Yes.
Olympics.
It is in the
It
Olympics.
takes like no athleticism. It just takes literally a fine skill. I disagree with that one. I think
what?
Have you ever
What do you call
an
an actual
an archer?
compound bow
Archer.
Archer.
or a longbow?
Yes, it's,
Like
I mean,
competitively?
like the only difference is one takes a ton of skill.
I think
It
they're
takes a
athlete.
ton of skill. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes
Driving
a
a
lot of
NASCAR,
training.
200 miles an
It takes
hour.
a lot of
takes
training, but you're
skill,
not-
a lot
are
of
you
training.
Contrary to popular belief,
you an athlete?
Contrary to popular belief, some athletes tend to have some skill too. In case you didn't notice.
I do notice.
Yeah, so I think it's an athlete. I think they're athletes.
All right.
I think they're athletes.
Triathlon runner.
Yes.
I just threw that in there. Fuck with Zach. Skiers and snowboarders, I would agree, are athletes. I think we're all going to agree.
Oh, just kidding.
Bobsledders,
Yeah,
are they athletes?
Yeah.
That's on the line.
I think
Bro.
they're athletes.
I would
Yeah,
say they're
they're
more so
athletes.
athletes than archers.
I think if you're in the
think-
Olympics, you're an athlete.
I think
I
an-
seriously do.
And a definition of an athlete is somebody who prepares themselves to do a certain type of skill
Or sport.
competitively or
Sport.
sport and does it well.
Fishermen.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot
pro fishing.
of
They're athletes?
Think
yes.
so.
Have you ever like heard
No, I understand it is very competitive. There's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot
I
of
think it's
preparation,
considered a
like
sport.
tech-
a lot of skill, a lot of
technique.
knowledge and technique.
I think it has to deal with it being
But
a sport though too.
athletes?
I think if they're a sport, they're playing a sport, they're an athlete.
They're
That's my opinion. Of it. There we go.
Curlers, athletes, bull riders,
Yes.
for sure?
sailors.
Professional sailing, like
Sailor, you're
that
on a
a thing?
team.
on it.
You're
Oh
sailing
yeah,
on a
athlete.
team.
Like rowboat or sailing?
No,
Well-
not rowboat. Rowboats are definitely athletes.
So if you're on, if it's like
Sailing.
professional sailing, right? Like
I would
like-
say
So
no.
they race. There's a lot of different types of sailing. I think there's sailing where it's short term and they got those like giant, like absolutely huge boats that like kind of lift off the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they go fast.
I know what you're
And
talking
then
about.
there's some that sail like across oceans and races.
Are you an athlete?
athlete,
Am I an athlete?
athlete.
Not professionally,
You
no.
lift weights?
Not professionally.
Oh,
I think
so these
I
have
think
to be
I think
professional?
those sailors are athletes. I think you sailing your sailboat across the sea real fast is an athlete.
They are or not.
Are athletes.
They are. Everyone's a fucking athlete. Esports gamer.
Ooh,
That's a skill. No, that's a skill. They have.
I don't
they
think it's a
have
sport.
sponsors.
I don't think it's a
that's an
sport though.
athlete, yeah.
What?
I think it's sports or athletes. That's
It's literally
sports.
esports. It's in the
Yeah.
fucking name.
I don't
It's
think
a
I,
sport.
I don't.
That's not an
I don't think
athlete,
playing
They're not
video.
athletes.
I don't think playing video
It's
games
literally
is a
the
sport.
same as arch. It takes almost no
I think
more.
archery is
No,
a
it does not,
sport.
dude.
I don't think
Archery-
video games is a sport.
Archery takes so much more skill than it does to sit there and press
You
X
don't.
and
Oh,
Y.
you don't think video games take skill? You
I
don't
think
They
it's
do
takes
take
skill.
skill.
Buddy, you play Griff one-on-one Madden
And
on
I
All
beat
Pro.
his
On All
ass.
Pro. One-on-one. Both of you on All Pro. Let's see
No,
how much skill
listen,
you have.
listen. No,
Let's
no,
see
no,
how
no.
much skill you
But-
have.
but there's
You're
a
gonna
difference.
get fucking 90
Shut up.
pieced in Madden.
Shut up. There's a difference between having a skill where you sit there and play a video game and a skill to literally have focus
Oh my
to put a arrow in a little ass target.
I think it's got to be a sport.
And then plus you have to be conditioned to be in archery.
You think
have to be
esports is a
strong.
sport?
I think it's got to be a sport.
Esports is not a sport.
It's a
I don't
sport,
think so.
but they're not
I
athletes.
think
It's
they call
literally
it.
called esports.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a sport though. I think they just.
Esports is not a
I
sport.
think that's the way they tried to get jocks in there instead of just all the nerds they had, and now you see dudes that are like 250 pounds ripped playing video games professionally because they realize how much money they can make. Not saying it doesn't take skill. 100%. There's pro gamers that could dust circles around me in any game they play, but I personally don't think it's a sport. I don't think it's an athlete.
I don't think that they're athletes.
I think they're highly
Last one.
skilled at what they do, though,
Last
for
one,
sure.
billiards. Pool players.
No. They're not athletes.
What?
Athlete.
How is billiards any different than archery?
Athlete.
Because-
How?
Because-
how is billiards any different than archery?
Because
they
I-
both take the same amount.
No, because you need strength to play or to do
You don't
archery.
need strength to break at a professional level to break a rack of.
Not as
I
much
think
as
they're an athlete.
archery.
I think they're an athlete.
Are
Jake.
you
How can you think that
listen,
billiards
are you
players-
weight training to be a billiards player?
Are you weight
Probably
training
not.
to be an archer? No.
Yes. Have you ever
No.
seen archery people?
No.
They're
Yeah, they're
strong.
skinny.
They are strong though.
No.
Athlete.
Dude, no. Billiards people
I don't know
are
how you
not
could
athletes.
ever say archery.
No.
Archers are athletes and pool players are not
I,
athletes.
got one for you guys. Right? Westminster Dog Show, the dog trainers, are they athletes?
No.
What about the
They're
dogs?
trainers.
No.
The dogs aren't athletes?
Yeah, they would be athletes.
Wait, how are you going to say everyone's an athlete but a pool player?
I said
What
the pool, I
disrespect.
said the
I
pool
didn't say
players were
gamers were
athletes. I didn't say the gamers
Triathlon
were.
runners aren't athletes.
Takes more skill than playing pool.
Skill?
Yeah.
I would disagree.
I disagree on the
I would
skill.
disagree. 100%.
You go swim for a mile and tell me how much skill you need to do that.
not
you go
skill.
run for 13
You need endurance.
and tell me how much skill
Endurance
you
and
need
training.
to do that. You go
Not
ride
skill.
a bike
I
and
think
tell
it
me how much
takes
skill.
mild or like
Playing
miles.
pool,
I
that's
think
just,
it takes.
that's just being mentally
I
smart.
think it
understand what
takes
skill is.
I think it takes miles more athleticism to be a triathlon runner than a pool player. I think it takes more skill to be a pool player.
Definitely
like
takes
a,
more
like a,
I think it takes more mental awareness to be a pool player than it does a triathlon runner. But
And skill.
to say that a pool player is an athlete, no.
I agree a pool player is not an athlete. And I also think that a pool player is an equivalent to an archer. Almost identical equivalent to archery.
No. Because you need strength to do archery.
You need strength to break a cue.
Not as much as it does to pull
Yes,
back
you
a
do.
bow. You go pull back a bow and tell me you use the same amount of
Okay.
effort to break a pool.
I can tell you right now that you can get me a competitive bow and I can pull it back and I can shoot it perfectly fine.
Accurately, multiple times in a
You
row.
tell me that I can grab that cue
Manlaw.
stick and go break it as hard as a professional pool player, and there's no chance in the absolute world that's good.
we got to do it now. We got to get you a bow. We got to get you a bow.
I have a bow.
It's
Yeah,
what,
there we
80
go.
pound pullback? I can for sure pull back a bow.
And you
arrow.
think that that is equivalent to breaking. That is
I don't
the
even
same
think you
amount of
can do
strength.
it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can physically, me, him cannot break as hard as a pro pool player. You, me, and Griff can also pull back an archery bow from the Olympics.
But it also takes
It takes
strength.
less skill.
No, it takes strength to hold the bow back and to aim
can-
at the target.
I can tell when Jake's like pissed off talking because his eyebrows do this.
No, because this is a dumbass argument. Like, you think pool players are the same level as archery people?
I think, yeah.
Wow, that's terrible take, bro. That is so
You tell
bad.
a pool player that spends literally like 12 hours of their life practicing pool and not even winning the
I think
World
that
Cup.
I think that it takes a lot of mental awareness to know geometry and angles and stuff to play pool.
I-
but
no
you
physical
also
skill?
But you also need the strength in archery and also to know the angles and trajectories of where you're at distance wise.
I know. I said it's an equivalent comparison.
No, but you need to be way stronger to be an archery player.
Wrong.
Okay.
Gridiron Garage.
Moving on.
I do want to say more skilled pool players than triathlons. Not more athletics, though.
You're
Way
right.
more
I
athletic
agree.
triathletes.
I agree. Anyways, 60 Minutes ran a special.
Want to go swim with me?
No, dude, I'm not
It's-
good at
it's
that.
not skill.
I'm not athletic at all. I know how to swim.
Swimming is a
Contrary to
skill.
what my mom says, I know how to swim.
Griff can swim. I can swim too.
All right, well, come swim. An hour, 45 minutes with
no,
me.
I don't have the endurance. I don't have the athleticism
Because
to do
you
that.
guys don't have a skill to swim.
No, that's wrong.
I know how to
both know
swim.
how to swim.
I'm just not athletic enough or in the endurance shape to be able to do that for
Griff
a long
can
period
play
of
pool.
time.
I know he can. But if we took him to an archery range, I guarantee he would struggle with it.
Griff's played
Same
pool
with you.
before.
I know.
Yeah.
Same with you. Same with me.
What are you talking about?
We can all three play pool.
Dude,
but if
you're not good at pool. That's the same reason we're not good at archery.
I think I have a better
Because
chance.
you-
I just want to say I think I have a better chance of hitting one bullseye doing a bunch than beating a pro pool player.
Yeah.
I would never beat an archery guy though. I would never beat him, right?
you never beat a pool.
I think at this point we're arguing apples to apples because you're not going to beat the pro in anything, right? I could say, I mean, the only thing I can think of, if Jake trained for a year, do you think he could run a triathlon if he trained for a whole year?
Yeah.
And finish one?
Yeah.
So then if you train for a whole year, do you think you could beat a pro pool player?
Probably. If I train like day in and day out, I could probably.
That's
beat
not
a
even
pool
what I'm
player.
arguing. We're arguing archery and pool player.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on because
Gridiron Garage.
we'll see what people on Instagram seem to believe. I don't know. There's definitely some polls that can come out of this for sure.
Yeah.
We'd
It's gonna
like
be
to
funny
see.
when everyone agrees with Zach and Jake's just fucking pissed.
So please go out to our
Like, come home from
Instagram
work.
polls and give us your opinion on what you believe. Moving on.
We come from work, we sit on the
to
couch like fuck pissed, dude.
60 minutes.
Everyone voted for Zach.
60 Minutes released an episode featuring UFOs and fighter pilots from the Navy and Air Force. And they say that they see UAPs, which are unidentified aerial phenomenons, every single day since 2014.
It's crazy.
Grass.
And this was 60 Minutes that came out with it. What they said is that it's one of three possibilities. It's either secret U.S. technology that they don't know about because it's so like top secret. It is secret spy technology from other countries, which they said we are absolutely screwed if they have that technology, or it's outer worldly technology coming from another planet. So I think that's pretty wild that all these people are coming forward and talking about the UAPs out there, not necessarily aliens, but it's kind of the best case scenario for us, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
That it's aliens. If it's not ours, it's almost better that it's aliens.
I mean, yeah, that's well. At the same time, though, think about hostile aliens that can fly to. Because we talked about this
You would
last
imagine
episode,
they
right?
wouldn't be hostile.
Well,
Right?
what I'm thinking
If they're
about
here already.
So my thought, real quick, because we talked about how far we are away from like where life could be. You know what I mean? Just like how far away. He's still trying to argue his point about archery. So
This is a professional archery guy.
Oh.
And this is a pool player. And you want to tell me that?
all right, we moved on from that segment. The polls will get it. We'll see who wins in the polls. But we talked about just how far away, right? I talked about the Fermi paradox last week, where I was thinking like either by the time they get to us, world's ending, whatever it may be. If someone can get to us that quick, right? Theoretically quick enough and not just disintegrate from going so fast, or somehow figure out how to go through wormholes and black holes, right? You got to think either one of two things, right? Either they're just biding their time, they're eventually going to screw us over when there's something and kill us all, or they're just like, we're so omnipotent to you that we don't care about you. We just want to sit here and watch you like you're our pets. You know what I mean? That's the way I'm thinking.
If they were that sophisticated, they could obviously just destroy us all.
That leads
if
me.
they wanted to.
That's what I'm saying. That
Or
leads me to think.
They obviously don't want to.
That leads me to think that like it might be better if there's aliens like that case where they're not going to harm us. They're just kind of laughing at how dumb we are fighting over gasoline and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And look at these little meat bags fighting over gasoline, right? Versus
Little meat bag.
versus the results of us fighting over the gasoline is us getting nuked by our own like species. So like I think you're right in the case there that it might be better if we aliens are just sitting there laughing at us, right? Like look, it's like Sunday sitcom just
Then
watching.
if it's China, like out there with
China.
with stuff that we don't have, they can literally run circles around our fighter jets and military. That
crazy.
would probably not be good for us.
Nope.
Well,
But how do we
China
know it's
owns
not?
us anyway.
How do we know if it's not ours though? That's what I'm saying. It could be our stuff, and they're just plain dumb.
It could be ours. That's one of the three
We don't
possibilities.
know what it is. We don't know what that Iron Man suit is flying around.
We've never seen that before.
Oh,
How weird.
Wink, wink.
Anyways, was you hit on the gas shortage. Absolutely insane. Gridiron Garage predicted the gas shortage. I can't remember what episode it was. Probably
the
back in
next
like
Simpsons.
the 20s, right?
Yeah.
Gridiron in the 20 episodes, we actually predicted. We said what would happen if there wasn't any gas, which we didn't really get right. We kind of went extreme. But I thought
We
it
just
was
had
going.
people filling up grocery
I
bags.
thought it
in
was going
Tupperware.
down, dude. When
So-
that shit hit, and I was like, "This is it. This is what's going on. We're gonna be like the next apocalypse with the gas shortage."
So this is a secondhand story, but so you guys heard that who are the famous hackers? What are their names?
Anonymous.
Is that what it is? Yeah, maybe.
They wear the masks and stuff.
Yeah, so they hacked into like 5,000 miles of the U.S. pipeline.
Right.
You hear this? Okay.
Yeah.
And so in return, they said that they wanted like $5 million worth of Bitcoin.
It's a ransom. Yeah.
Yeah, to release their 5,000 or whatever. So the U.S. government is somehow smart enough to say, okay, we'll pay you $5 million in Bitcoin. And then once they release the pipeline, they then hacked into their servers and took back their Bitcoin. So essentially,
Did they really?
Yeah. So like, how are you smart enough to be like, here's some Bitcoin, give us our shit back, and then hack in and then take it, but you can't figure out how to just have them release it in the first place?
Oh my God, there's so many people so much smarter than
They make a movie about
That's
that. They
fucking
make a movie about that.
insane. That really happened.
Yeah, that was a secondhand story, but I believe it because the guy that told it to me, like,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I seriously hope that is a true story. That they
Let's
gave
see.
the ransom 5 million whatever
Bitcoins.
Bitcoin and just hacked it back.
That's insane.
That's wild. I know. It seems possible. That does seem possible.
yeah, but like you would think if you could hack in and take back your Bitcoin, that you would somehow be able to figure it.
Wouldn't
like,
you be a failed
hack in.
hacker if you managed to hack like that good at hacking to hack into the pipeline, shut the gas down to America?
You know what I
And
picture?
you get hacked like within the next week.
You know what I picture? I picture like one of the movies. This is not how it goes. But I picture one of the movies where the guy's sitting there typing away and goes, "All right, boys, it's sending. There's our 5 million Bitcoins. Wait, what's happening? No, I'm frozen. I can't do anything." And then all of a sudden, a little American flag with a bald eagle and a middle finger pops up on the screen. It says, "America, fuck yeah."
Fuck yeah!
They just take their money back.
Awesome.
It's like a little Uncle Sam sitting there flipping off the screen like 8-bit, just finger, arm up, middle finger.
There's a movie. Is it not Flacco?
Dark Side is what they were called.
I never heard of them then. I've
There's
heard
a
of
popular movie. This girl dates this hacker coder guy, and he lives in a big mansion. And Dark Web. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
And that's a scene in there, and they like hack in. He's like, "Fuck you."
Oh, I think you're talking about. Oh, what's it called? It's James Franco.
James Franco. Yeah, I said Flacco. I was wrong.
It's the one because Bryan Cranston's his dad, and he meets him, and
Yes.
he's got the
That's exactly. That's a good movie.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's funny. He's got the toilets, the bidet, where it's like shooting water up at him. It's like that.
But that's when they hack in, and he always like does something funny whenever the hackers try to hack in to fuck with
What's
him.
his name from Key and Peele? Was like the butler and stuff like that. He's
Yeah.
trying to coach him through the bidet and how to use it and stuff. Oh yeah, no, that is a funny scene. That's a funny show, a funny movie. He's like, yeah, fuck you.
But speaking of a gas shortage, me and Zach were talking the other day, and do you think it's possible in our lifetimes to see a majority of electric cars?
Yeah, I think so.
Like an absolute
I
majority?
think it's possible.
Like
I don't think it'll
where
happen.
Gas cars are the minority. I mean, it's our lifetime.
so
it's going to be a long time, right?
I know.
We're going to live till we're how? Like
Hopefully,
old?
hopefully,
100,
But
yeah.
What I'm thinking, like, when I say majority, I'm thinking like 60+%, like over 50% is going to be like
Right.
electric cars. I think it can 100% happen. I don't know if it will, but I think it could. I think get to the point where there's enough people in the world that want to be like, hey, let's drive a car that's going to be cheaper for us and don't have to buy gasoline and fill up every whatever. I can just charge it in my house. Yeah.
Does anyone ever run like the cost report of what it takes to fill up their Tesla every night?
I have no idea.
Like run their electric bill versus like how much they
So
pay on
I have
gas?
If you're
I have a-
smart, you can go to Myers in Florence, and they have free Tesla charging stations.
So I have a-
free.
No way.
Yeah, they just put them in.
I have a buddy who has a Tesla, and he said that after he got it, his electric bill went up like basically $40 a month. Is
That's
what,
it?
Yeah, is what he spent extra like charging his Tesla, and he said I can go like 3 days without it like fully just basically where he works and where he drives to and from. Because
how far
obviously
to
you drive
drive?
further. Probably about 40 minutes. So I got a 40-minute drive there, 40-minute drive back. He said he can go almost 3 days without it being like fully empty. So he like charges. He basically like plugs it in like every other night.
They're not hybrids, right? They're straight.
They're straight electric. Straight electric.
That's crazy. Hold on, time out. Going back to the pipeline thing. So they paid him 75 Bitcoin, or roughly $5 million, to hackers. Once the dark side got the money,
The dark side.
the
The dark side.
Dark side.
United States
Iron rig.
the United
it's called?
States
No, I know.
Cyber Command said that the dark side was pulled offline.
Can you imagine like Jake Lawhorn, U.S. Cyber Command? That sounds like Buzz. That sounds like a Buzz Lightyear movie.
I mean, we have an Air Force or Space Force.
Cyber Command.
Boop, boop, beep, bop, boop, boop. You seen that guy on TikTok?
This is Jake
He
Lawhorn,
does,
Commissioner of the U.S. Cyber Command.
He does little skits with like the Army, the Navy, the Space Force, and Air Force, and Marines, and he like has these little characters for each one of them. And the Marines guy just like growls and eats crayons. The Space Force guy has like little tiny hands on each finger, and he goes beep boop boop beep. He's actually pretty funny, but that's what that made me think of.
Space Force.
All right, back to Tesla. I missed what you guys were talking about. I was looking up Bitcoin. So you're talking about, does it cost more money to charge your Tesla or to put gas in it?
That's kind of what I came up with. And
I have a
Griff said
friend who
from
told me he spends about
someone he
40 extra
knows
bucks a month.
says 40 extra bucks a month, which
he
would
told me.
probably be almost half of what you'd spend on gas.
They're expensive though too, so you remember
spend
you
about
spend a lot of money on a car. You have
$20
probably
a
more
month.
expensive car payment.
But it's better.
Yeah. It's also better for the environment too. So
I spend like $20 a week. on
Theoretically,
gas.
I spend a
speaking
lot
of
more on
better for
gas
the
now.
environment, it's an interesting thing I saw is that if you truly wanted to do the best thing for the environment, getting a used car over getting a new car, like the amount of pollutions that goes into the air into creating one car, like actually creating it and going through the entire process is like
A lot.
more pollution than you'd ever make
Put out
by
in the car.
driving an old car. Pretty interesting.
It's crazy.
Don't know if it's true. I mean, I don't know. I just state stuff that I've heard before.
So you're telling me one day we're going to be driving around with a bunch of 1990 Honda Civics sounding wang, and I'm going to have to listen to that shit all the fucking
So
time?
Zach hit me up, absolutely heated, because he's got a condo that is right next to a popular stop sign. Popular stop sign. And all times of the night, he hears these rice burner cars coming in.
Yeah, there's one good sounding car.
And
interesting.
He complains so
Shit.
much. I'm like, people can do whatever they want. He's like, no, they can't. Not when their cars sound like shit.
I want to become a cop in that city and look at their noise ordinance and just sit at that stop sign and literally just pull people over every time that they think that drag strip is, cool. And Jake was like, man, I should just come rev my motorcycle up. And I was like,
All day.
I'll put sugar in your gas tank.
Just peg the rev limiter outside at midnight.
Oh, dude, but why do people think that's cool? Like, why?
It is cool. It's fun.
I was talking to a neighbor across the street yesterday, and he's like, "Your roommate's got a nice bike. It's loud." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm not mad. It's loud. It's cool." I was like, "Yeah, no, it's pretty cool." He revs it. It's pretty nice. There was one morning he went. It had to be 40 degrees outside, and he was revving it up. And I was like, "No way, he's driving it." I was like, "I don't know. He's crazy."
How old is this guy?
He's older.
Yeah, he sounds older.
Also, I want to say something about the gas shortage. So, actually, Always Sunny predicted it way before us.
Oh, it's Sunny.
10 years ago, they had an episode where there was a gas shortage.
I gotta check this out.
Well, I'll show you the episode. They had an episode that's a funny episode. They had an episode of the gas shortage. And you know what their idea was?
What?
Let's buy as much gas as we can and just sell it to people aftermarket, right? And so what they did was they just took big trash cans and just 55-gallon trash cans, filled it up with gas, set a little lemonade stand up, said, buy our gas. It's literally just like you're seeing like how people trying to fill up random containers of gasoline. There's a whole episode about them trying to sell gas. They try and do a door-to-door gas service where they try and drive up to you in a limo and sell you gasoline.
I hope
that would be highly illegal, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Because, doesn't the government own the gas?
Yeah, you can't do that. You 100% cannot do that.
No, the gas is technically private, but
But
there's a
like
lot of subsidies and a bunch
private
of
company buys it from the government, though, right?
No.
Like BP and Shell and all that.
I don't think you can
I
sell
don't
gas.
believe so. It's weirdly tied in with the government, so you're kind of right because all the subsidies and basically we need it, right? Like United States needs gas to operate, so it's weirdly tied in, but technically it's a private sector.
But yes, illegal.
I just hope some of those people that bought up all the gas and like stored it in bins and stuff, I hope it sits there and just goes bad.
Yeah, like
And they like try to put it in their car a year later and their car just won't run.
what are they gonna like funnel it in?
What I would say, what I want to know, like,
Garbage bags.
You just siphon it.
did you see the
Put
one?
it on the top shelf, I'll siphon it on in.
Did you see the one lady that she literally had a clothes hamper with holes in it? And she literally filled up like 2 inches.
did not.
It was like 2 or 3 inches of the hamper until the holes. And she's like, well, I guess this works. I got myself like a quarter of a gallon, you know?
my God.
And
I mean,
stuck it in her trunk.
To one sense, it's like you're being an asshole and you're taking stuff away from other people. But on the other hand, it's like you fend for yourself out here, you know?
Well, dude, that was like this time last year. Have like
The toilet paper? Yeah.
pasta, anything.
I mean, you
like,
got to fend for yourself, right?
Yeah, like
it's like
fuck other people.
on one hand, you're like, I need toilet paper for my butthole. I don't care if you have toilet paper. Like, I need it.
Everybody
And,
poops.
Yeah, so it's like a weird. You can't really be telling people they can't have gas, and everyone's gonna. I'm at her more the most, right? Like, I think everyone kind of has that mindset a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They say that there's
Why?
no such thing as an unselfish decision.
Oh, every decision you make is selfish.
Right.
It's
They
like-
say even people that like donate, and they're like, well, you could theoretically be donating money to make yourself feel good or make yourself look good or get the tax write-offs.
break,
and-
yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, the only thing that you could say is that if you gave your life for someone else, that's like the one thing that you could say that's impossibly
He wanted the glory.
not selfish, right?
It's one of the glory.
You wanted to
One of
go.
the glory after the fact.
Legends live forever.
Yeah.
Legends never die.
Yeah, heroes live forever, legends never die.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you say.
Yeah. Well, name the movie.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Either.
Come on. It's a Sandlot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're talking about Babe
The
Ruth.
Sandlot.
I've
talking about
I've
Babe Ruth.
also not watched The Sandlot
It's like
in
when
years.
he's like talking to Babe Ruth and he's like, just remember, kid. Heroes live forever, but legends never die. Now let me go bang this broad and eat a hamburger before my game. It's basically Babe Ruth's entire career.
Anyways, Griff, this week you have got a brand new kayak.
I know, it's freaking sick.
You have also not took it out.
I
Not
have
one
not.
time. It has sat in the garage the entire time.
To be fair, it has not sat in the garage the entire
Until
time.
you get that out on the water, I will continue to
To be
ride
fair,
your back.
it has
about
not sat in the garage the entire time. That is false in your accusation.
Okay.
I helped the guy take it out of the trailer. It was outside while I was transporting it to the garage. So it was outside for about 30 seconds at that point. Also, it was on my car for like an hour on top because I was trying to figure out how to rig it up and jerry rig it because I didn't have the straps long enough. I was out there for like an hour. That's when I talked to the neighbor. He was like trying to give me tips on how to extend it and make it to fit. And I was like, I just don't feel comfortable. So my thought was, right, I borrowed some straps from Zach to use to top it on my car and then go test it out. And I'd already ordered some more too, some like ones that like were like supposed to be made for like kayaks and boats, so they don't like bend the hull or anything like that. And so I'm waiting for those to come in. They come in Tuesday, by the way. So that's the first day I'm probably gonna take it out. But what I did was
they've already came in.
If you're listening to this, yeah, they've already came in. But so I was trying to strap it on, and one of them was too short, and I couldn't get the back strapped on. I physically could. It was not long enough to be able to reach all the way around and strap it the way that it's supposed to go. And I just didn't feel comfortable driving because I spent so much money on it. I'm like, why would I want to drive this thing and risk it falling off and like denting it, cracking it, scraping it, breaking it, when I can just wait another 2 days and get the things I want to use right? So
We should have asked for the long straps.
well, I didn't know if you had long. You said I got two. Is what you texted me
Moving on.
and gave them to me.
Since you bought it to
I
go
got
fish,
two. Is what you said.
Griffin likes to fish. I think a lot of our listeners probably also like to fish or can somewhat relate to fishing.
So we got a lot of athletes listening right now.
All you athletes out there,
All those anglers.
we're going to go talk about fishing stereotypes. One of my favorite segments here, and I'll go ahead and start it off. And this is the slobbery bobber. And this is the guy who always fishes with a bobber. He throws this thing out there and just sits in a lawn chair and gets slobbery drunk while his bobber sits there. You see the bobber like literally jumping up and down, getting bites all over the place, and he's just drinking his beer. Literally has no interest in catching any fish. Just wants to sit in the sun with his bobber and his fishing pole and drink his beer. And that's a slobbery bobber.
Yeah, good one.
There you go.
I like it. Yeah. So I got the million rod hardo. And the million rod hardo, the guy who's like you're just hey dude, you want to go fish this like pond with me or go fish this creek? Oh yeah, bro, I got you, right? And he comes in with like 12 or 13, 14 fishing rods for a little tiny pond. He's like, yeah, I got my drop shot rod, I got my my spinnerbait rod, I got this names off every single bait. I'm like, dude, we're just fishing a pond. I brought like 2 poles just so I didn't have to
some
switch.
hot dogs.
Yeah, and some hot dogs. Like the dude just like treats it like a bass fishing tournament every time he goes fishing.
Because he's an athlete, bro.
I guess so.
You're out there performing.
What you got, Zach?
I don't got a cool name for mine, but just the dude that's just scared of fish.
Yeah, I had that too. I had the take it off guy. Take it off. They call it take it off. I was going to say that one next.
That is for sure me. And I was telling Griff, he kind of gave me shit, but I was like, dude, if I go fishing and I absolutely have to take it off the hook, I'll get like gardening gloves or some shit so I don't have to touch it.
You can just take a rag and just grab it with
or
a
a
rag.
rag or anything.
I don't have a name for this one.
Take it off.
This one nobody likes to fish with, and it's the guy who takes it so seriously. And make sure you don't stomp too hard around the pond.
Yeah, 'cause
make sure you don't talk too loud because the fish are so smart.
I got the shisher.
Which I 100 disagree. They're so smart that they're going to hear you and run away, and they're not going to eat anything in the lake because they hear you
I've
thumping.
never seen a fish run.
I called him. I called him the shisher. The
Hey, there's fish that walk. They climb on land and like walk to different little lakes and stuff.
What? An alligator?
No, so there's something. I think
They
it's
don't
called
have legs or anything. They just they reach out their fins and they go.
Yeah, like inchworms with their fins. Yeah.
You're telling me a fish
it
can
up.
attack me outside of the water?
So there's some type of
I don't
fish.
think it attacks
There's some type of
people, no.
fish that's like it's like invasive species of Florida. I think it's called like a snakefish. Or
It
it's
is
called
in Florida, I think
it's
you're
called
right.
something like that. It's like an all black fish, and it's got these little fins, and it can basically like inch its way like this, and it's got like real sharp teeth because it's like it'll bite like frogs too. Like if it like inches past a frog and a frog will walk up to what's on land, it'll just bite it and they eat it.
What type of world are we
insane.
living
Yeah.
in?
And they'll go to like different ponds and they're like an invasive
I
species.
must sent you a video the other day of a sea sloth or a sea snail. A sea snail. That's what it was.
Is it gross looking?
Oh my god! If you don't know what a sea snail looks up, please look it up.
How much you look
It looks
up?
horrible. I'll try to see if I can pull one up.
I got some water in my waders.
All right, while you're pulling that up, Jake,
my little worm.
Jake will relate this one
My
with me.
little
but-
worm.
Google.com, Bing.com, Google.com. The number one search thing on Bing is Google.
There you go. So
What am I looking for? A sea.
sea snail.
Sea
so
snail.
I got one for you here, Jake, that you'll relate to. But it's the oh
No,
god,
not a snail.
oh.
What's
Sea
the slug?
cucumber.
Sea slug. Maybe
Sea
that's
slug.
it. Sea slug.
I kind of want to see it now. You built it up.
Oh, I don't know if I can.
Sea cucumber. I don't know. It
Dude,
does
these
look
are-
really weird.
They're kind
No.
of pretty though.
Oh yeah.
There's something like this. Dude.
Pikachu.
Ew, that's gross. It looks like a turd.
Horrible
Looks
looking.
like a leech.
It looks like a big old turd.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Looks like
YouTube's
looks
got
like
one.
Zach after he got wasted drunk last weekend.
Oh, my God.
But I got one you relate to.
Sloppy drunk.
I got one you relate to, Jake. It's the pro who catches everything and insists he's doing the same thing as you.
The worst.
Yeah, basically you're going with we got a buddy that's like this. We got a buddy, we go with him. and he catches like everything, and we're catching like 2 fish total between us. And we're like, dude, what are you doing that you keep catching these fish? Well, I'm just doing the same thing you are. Look, I got the same thing on. I'm doing this. I'm like, no, you're not. You're obviously doing something because you're catching all these fish. You got like 12. We got like 2.
Because he is a
Athlete. That's what I said.
I got the frat star, the guy that wears chubbies in a PF, what is it?
PFG.
A PFG shirt,
yeah.
and croquis, and just walks around. Has nothing to do with fishing. Literally doesn't even fish at all. But he wears it.
Got all my fishing gear, dude. They went with the Coles, got all my fishing gear beforehand, dude.
There's the guy that wants to eat all the fish.
Yeah,
like you're just fishing in the local lake, and he's like, "Dude, bring it out. We'll throw it on the grill."
Yeah,
like,
I got
dude,
that.
I'm not trying to eat this fucking bluegill that ripped out from this lake here.
I called it the "Can we cook this guy?" Like, can we cook this? Can we fillet it and eat it? No, it's a smallmouth bass. It's like 6 inches long.
Have you ever been walleye fishing?
No.
That's cool. We should go do it. I'm not a big fisherman guy, but
yes,
dude,
check
what
that
the
thing.
fuck?
Oh, yeah, that's gross.
It's called a giant black slug. That's what I was thinking of.
Trying to sound.
Ew. Black
sound?
sea hair. That's not hair.
I don't know if I'm.
That's
connected to you, bro.
like slime.
You not connected, bro?
Oh no, yeah. Okay.
Looks grody to the max, bro.
Slimy.
So
Slimy. This slug, Aaron. What kind of-
Dude, this dude is weird. This is a weird dude, by the way.
slimy.
Side note,
Stop.
Coyote Peterson's a freak.
I can feel him gripping onto my arm. I mean, I can feel him actually like wrapping around me. And I can feel his little tongue under there. Can't bite, right?
No, these guys are vegetarians. They mostly eat algae and kelp.
The title of this is on YouTube. It's called "It's Huge!" Exclamation point. Giant black slug! Exclamation point.
Dude, good thing it's
Go check it
vegetarian.
out. Horrible looking. Imagine eating that. What do you think it tastes like?
Probably not very good.
Oh, I would say
Dude,
not.
It literally looks like a fish that has like oil sludge all
I know, it
over
looks
it.
disgusting. Anyways, I got one more. I got a bite guy. The guy that every single time he tug, it could be him pulling his
I do
lure
that.
too hard.
I do that.
It could be the guy that just grazes across some grass on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a bite, and he yanks it and he
You hook
reels
a
it in.
twig down there?
He reeled a twig like, oh, just another twig. Oh, I got a bite guy.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know like how high my lure or anything
Yeah.
is, so I'm definitely
That's
just
it.
dragging that shit on the ground.
Every now and then,
Oh!
every now and then I will see you sit there and just go, "Huh," and you yank it real quick, and then you just act like nothing happened. Like, oh, I mean, everyone's done that at some point. Like, oh. It's
Also,
nothing.
I don't have a name for it, but the guy who gets his hook stuck on everything. That's also me.
the hooker.
The hooker.
The hooker. We also got the it's a big one guy that every single fisherman he does, he's like, oh, it's a big one. It's a big one. Reels in like a, again, like a
Tiny smallmouth bass.
half a pound smallie. Or a little
got
bluegill. It's a big one.
You also got the guy that can't catch a
It
fish.
was
without-
small, but it was strong. It was strong.
The guy that can't catch a fish without screaming, "Fish on! Fish on!"
Fish on. All right, that's all I got.
It's all I got for fishing stereotypes.
I really wanted to do the take it off guy. I'm excited you said that, but it makes sense. You said it.
I mean, I'm just the big take it off guy.
Yeah.
I don't even want it. I actually don't even want it on. So
Take it off.
Fuck, I caught one.
damn it.
Just toss the pole in.
Just throw the whole thing in and walk away.
Side note, we have a buddy who's listening to our podcast. I won't say, if you can find a picture of Corey Wade, send us a picture of him.
You
but-
said his last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, why? Stop.
They can for sure find him.
No, it's fine. Anyway, we can cut it out. Anyway, our friend Corey, we'll cut it out. Our friend
can leave
Corey,
it.
You
you
can cut
remember?
it out.
You remember when he caught the snake? Were you there with us?
I wasn't there. No.
Oh,
We
dude.
caught a snake.
So we went fishing once,
fuck?
and we were wading through the water, right? So we were wading like through water with like these just
You have-
wearing
you have your
shorts or
waders
whatever.
on?
I didn't have
Oh,
waders.
you didn't have
no.
waders,
We just
man.
walked
You're
through.
gonna get water in your
Oh
waders.
yeah, I mean there's a
They're
couple.
gonna cut you.
Got my little worm.
Anyway.
Gonna get your little worm.
Anyway, we're fishing and we see like a little like water snake on the edge. I don't know if it was a water moccasin, whatever it was. It was a little water snake, right on the edge of the water. We saw it just kind of sitting there floating there. He's like, "Think I can catch it?" We're like, "Yes!" Like if you throw your lure in front of it, it'll probably attack it. He's like, "I'm gonna try and catch it." We're like, "All right, dude," and he freaking shot his lure out there right in front of the snake. Sure enough, the snake instantly just bites at it and starts swallowing the hook. And then he starts swimming towards him while he's trying to reel it in. He's like, oh, just chucks his rod across, and the snake has to go wherever the rod goes, trying to pull the rod. He literally caught a snake and then just chucked the rod. It was the funniest thing I ever saw.
Exactly what I would do.
Yeah, he chucked the rod, and he's trying to get the rod back, and the snake's sitting there. And
You
like,
know what would have been the proper move is to like extend it so you can run away, and then cut the line.
yeah.
That would have been the smart move. Corey, if it ever happens again,
I told him, I said he should have just reeled as fast as he could.
no,
and the snake
it'll
would
come
mount.
towards you.
No, but if you reel it faster than
Oh,
it can
the
swim
mouth
to
will
you,
get up to
it'll be
the
pulling it. It
end.
gets to the tip and it can't do anything. It's just stuck like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? I was like, then you have it. You can just do whatever you want with them then, right? You know what I mean?
But what if you reeled it in? What would you do with it?
You'd cut the line and run real fast, probably.
Kill it too.
But then you would have a.
Let's give it a schmack.
You would have a. What do you call that thing? You'd have a snake with a hook in its mouth.
Yeah, but it can't do anything to you. It's stuck now.
Moving on to our last segment here, we got futuristic technology. I was curious if you guys have any specific technology that you wish to see would exist in our future lives. Could be something that you saw in a movie. Could be anything in your mind that you've created or thought of that should be awesome if it existed.
Hold on. Can we play the video that we keep talking about?
Yeah, My Little Worm.
Yeah. Here we go. So you guys know what we're talking about.
Cowboy Kale.
Middle of the swamp, trying to catch you a damn gator for them gator boots you wanted. Yeah, but then a snake got in my waders trying to get my little worm.
The snake got in my waders trying to get my little worm. It's Cowboy Kale. If you don't know who he is, you should, because his energy is electric.
He just has a new song out too. Baby, make a TikTok over in my tool shed.
So
All right.
I got two inventions. And
Two inventions. What do you got?
One of them I think is cool. The other one's more of like a just ease of life thing that
we
think would also make someone super
We
rich.
need $50 million.
No. Oh yeah, I mean you get it right the first time you would. But so first one, just a skinny pill. Like you just take it and you're instantly like, oh yeah,
Ooh.
now I'm shredded. Yeah,
I already have those.
No, but like
They do not work.
no.
You think they
Zach,
work?
Zach,
No, but like they're supposedly.
I'm talking about like
The ones that are FDA approved do not work.
I'm
I
talking
can
about
definitely see them making some that are like crack.
Yeah.
that work. That-
Don't name any brands, but because they're all terrible for you. But
yeah,
Zach, I'm
if
talking
they're
about-
FDA approved, they're obviously not allowed to jump your heart rate up like throughout the day.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
burn calories. But I mean, if you're just like doing some sketchy illegal shit, you could probably put something in your body that jumps your heart rate up all day and you lose weight.
people do it all the time.
yeah.
Right.
Like heroin,
Crack.
crack.
So I'm talking about you take a pill, you go to bed, and you wake up and you got like Mr. Universe body, and you're like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, that would hurt.
I thought it would be cool if you could figure out a way to get your body
Painless
to
and
work
super
out when
healthy.
you sleep.
Oh, that'd be
Painless
awesome.
and super
Like
healthy.
you're just laying in bed and you're like, 1, 2, like you, and you wake up
yeah.
just fully rested.
Yeah.
Well, then
Like,
that kind
it's a
of
nice
defeats the
workout.
purpose of sleep.
So
Your brain's sleeping, but your body's working.
my real one though, the one I think will be super cool. So have you guys ever seen the movie Limitless?
No.
Yes, no.
I have
Ever heard
seen
of
it, yes.
The Limitless pill.
Yes.
I think the Limitless pill would be cool. Like unlock more parts of your brain to a certain extent, right? Obviously, there's like some crazy stuff that goes on in that movie with like people like trying to get the pill and everything, getting the stuff to it. But I think it'd be cool if you could just like unlock more of your brain, and then you're like have the bigger POV, can think better, you can just like think straight. I think it'd be awesome.
That's also like wrong though. I mean, we use our entire brain, every inch
Oh,
of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Not like percentage wise though.
not. But with the way people think about it is that you use.
You don't use it to its
Like
full
the way
potential.
you think, no, people think of their brain is that it's a thing that remembers stuff. But your brain controls everything. Your brain controls literally like has some influence on every cell in your body almost. Like how you breathe, your blood, your oxygen levels, almost everything that happens goes through your brain and it tells you to do it. So maybe only 30% of your brain is remembering stuff and your memories and things that happen there, but the rest of your brain is still functioning. It's just not used for memory. It might be used for balance. It might be used for coordination. It might be used for all kinds of stuff.
So I want the Limitless pill though, where it makes him a bigger POV. He's like super smart. He can figure everything out. I want that.
I mean, yeah, you want it, you can have it.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Limitless pill basically lets you like be super smart. You can like retain all information. You can. I think that's pretty much what it is. Yeah,
You can basically
it pretty much retains everything that they tell.
the trope in the movie is that it'll let you unlock like 90% use of your brain, like for like
He doesn't have
thinking and stuff
superpowers
like that.
though.
No, he doesn't have
just gets
superpowers.
Insanely
So
smart, where he
then-
can figure out like
so
any
then
puzzle.
I want to go to like I can almost like mold it, and I want to kind of combine it with something else. So I want a pill version of that, coupled with the powers that the dude had from Split, where he had the split personalities and he took on the physical attributes of his personalities. You guys see that movie Split?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that movie, right, like he's multiple split personalities, right? And every time one comes up, he takes off on the physical attributes. Like he has one that's like a diabetic, and he's literally a diabetic whenever he has that. Like not just he thinks it, like he literally has to take his diabetes medication and stuff. And so the one he turns into like basically this freaky monster guy where he's like just insanely ripped and strong. And it's like to the point where his brain is making that happen because it 100% is using it's far fetched. It's not something that could happen, but it's basically using like his brain power to like manifest that in his body and change his body like at a molecular level, because that's like what his brain fully believes he is. So I want the limitless pill coupled with that. I can make myself a mass monster that's the smartest dude ever.
Monster. That's pretty cool. I think that hopefully these UFOs or UAPs are actually real, because then we can take that technology of warping gravity and we can finally make an anti-gravity board. And we can fly around
like Marty
and
McFly.
have the absolute time of our life. Dude, they told us by 2020 that this shit would be here.
Nope.
And it's not. And we have thrown 0 fits. We have thrown 0 rides. You need a reason to riot. We need a freaking board in here, dude.
Uber has flying technology.
Helicopters.
Okay. Uber is a car.
A helicopter is not a flying hoverboard. I'm sorry.
They have hoverboards. They're just
No,
powered by
like one
water.
you're literally
They
like
don't have hoverboards.
one you're literally just like flying around. Like I could literally ride it around up the stairs and it's all over the place. Like be hovering
Go anywhere.
above the
It
ground,
hovers.
Yeah,
like you see in the Jetsons.
they have them.
And then obviously the teleportation machine needs to be invented. And it also needs to be invented where you can bring whatever you want with you.
Yeah. No checking bag. Imagine the price to check bags.
Like,
on
wouldn't
a
it suck if you
teleportation
could, you could teleport, but like you couldn't bring your golf clubs with you? So like when you wanted to go golfing, you'd have to pack your golf clubs and drive because the teleportation machine doesn't work right. Like,
Because we live so far from a golf course.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it would make shit very inconvenient if you couldn't bring your stuff with you.
Yeah, that's true.
That'd be pretty cool.
You know what I want? All my stuff like revolves around like a pill you take, but I want a pill that just literally like just makes me a pro athlete.
Big supplement guy.
Supplement guy. Eat my two supplements. Just I'm a pro athlete. I play every sport. Take a pill. And I'm like, I got a
'cause
little
you could be a
skill.
hell of an archer.
I know. So I literally what it does is it gives me the physical attributes and the skill just immediately. Pro athlete. I'm the greatest. I'm like LeBron James of every sport. Zero dark 3023. Let's go. Hashtag
Didn't
zero dark
other people
3023.
get the pills?
Huh?
No.
No, I get the pill.
Oh, you get the pill.
I have a monopoly. I'm like the
This guy could
what's it
better
called?
the world with any technology ever.
Yeah, I'm like,
and he's so
I'm like who?
selfish.
I'm like who? The asshole EpiPen guy? They're just like, nope, mine. You got to spend thousands of dollars on it.
Girl, EpiPen girl.
Is that who it is? Is it a girl?
And she's in prison.
Oh, well,
For what?
I wouldn't get caught.
Can we talk
I
about it?
believe, I'm not 100%.
Is it
do your own
controversial?
research on this, but I believe the EpiPen woman is in prison because she monopolized the EpiPen and made a ridiculous price.
Ridiculous amount of money on it.
Like, I mean, basically they said that she was killing people because they couldn't afford an EpiPen. Like her product
Yeah, weren't they?
that she
do you
invented.
know how much they cost? Like, I know they're like super expensive. Like they were.
They're
super
not anymore.
expensive.
They have
They
generic
were.
version because her patent or whatever fell through
Yeah.
because she's in prison now. But yeah, she was like, she jacked the prices up and they were already making profits. Like
Yeah.
they know that. I don't know. It's kind of weird because what you think of a patent, the reason why you'd invent something like that is because you use the patent and you make as much money as you can in that 20-year period. But I guess they found her guilty of abusing the patent. And
what about-
like she wasn't like there's people dying because they couldn't afford her EpiPen that would
What
have
about when
otherwise not.
Amazon monopolizes the world? Are they going to sue them?
I don't think they have
Monopolies
though.
are kind of illegal, but it's kind of weird because you can have a patent which makes you the monopoly of that drug. So it's a weird gray area, but I believe she is in prison because they claimed it as immoral. Do your own research, but I believe that to be the truth.
You forgot to say you're uncultured.
I'm uncultured.
There you go. I don't know if that holds up in the court of law, but maybe. I don't know.
Well, basically, I'm uncultured and
Yeah.
don't believe anything I say.
I don't have anything to contribute to this segment.
All right, we'll go ahead and close it then. Thank you guys for listening to episode 64 of the Gridiron Garage. Thank you all for following our Instagram page, and hopefully there's some very exciting interactive polls and things for you guys to do on there. Give us a like, subscribe, and we out.